Hey guys, Samuel and Audrey here, and today we're taking you on a little day trip to Mahone Bay. This was one of the many picturesque towns we visited along Nova Scotia South Shore, and we had a really fun day walking around, feasting on delicious clams and lobster mac and cheese, sampling local craft beers, hiking part of the Rum Runners Trail, plus a few misadventures in between. We invite you to join us as we share some fun things to do in Mahone Bay on a day trip. Let's hit the road, shall we? Well, good morning everyone. Greetings from Mahone Bay.
Yeah, this is a place we've been wanting to visit, and you know what? It's like a 10-15 minute drive from where we're staying in Lunenburg?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very convenient, very easy to access. We are continuing our road trip along Nova Scotia South Shore, and today we're spending the day here in Mahone Bay. It's a bit of a windy day, but we've got sunshine, and this place looks so charming.
Yeah, the sun is playing peekaboo all morning. It's either bright like this or a little bit overcast, but it looks like it's going to be an incredible day to explore this town. There's no rain scheduled, so we're very excited about that. And yeah, so far our impressions of this place is it's just incredibly charming. It's the most relaxing town you can be at. Yeah,
it looks very walkable, lots of colorful buildings. You have restaurants, breweries, souvenir shops. So yeah, we're just gonna explore on foot all day. We've parked the car and let's go see what this place is all about.
Let's go check it out.
For anyone driving into Mahone Bay on a day trip, we noticed a few different parking areas along the harbor on Main Street and Edgewater Street. We parked right across from one of the three churches, so naturally, that was our first stop. This right here is St. James Anglican Church, and just a few steps over you have St. John's Lutheran Church. There's also Trinity United Church, which we somehow missed, and together these make up the famous Three Churches of Mahone Bay. Fun fact, for many years, St. James's 30-meter steeple was marked on marine charts, and sailors would line up the steeples of the three churches as a navigational aid. So a little bit of history here. Right now we are walking along what used to be a shipyard. This beautiful coastal area in between these historic churches used to be where they built many of the schooners that were part of Lunenburg's fishing fleet. Of course, not much of that remains today. This is more of a tourist town nowadays. But yeah, really cool to kind of reminisce and think about the history this place has.
In the 1700s, Mahone Bay was founded by Ephraim Cook, who saw the bay as a potential shipbuilding location thanks to its deep and narrow channel and sheltered harbor. It's hard to picture today, but by the early 1900s, shipbuilding would have been at its peak in Mahone Bay, and the waterfront would have been lined with shipbuilding wharves. Today, no trace of that remains, save for a commemorative plaque and an info board, but you can visit the Mahone Bay Museum to learn about Mahone Bay's shipbuilding history.
Okay, so we have decided to grab an early lunch. Somebody's hungry.
Yeah, I'm definitely hungry. It's only like 10 after 11. But you know what? We've been putting in some serious walking ever since we've done this Nova Scotia trip. We just walk all day long. We're gonna check out a place. I think it's called Oh My Cod.
Oh My Cod.
Yeah. And with a name like that, you know it's gonna be a good quirky place to check out.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go for seafood, honestly. Yeah. With a name like that, we need to get some fish. Preferably cod, if it's on the menu. The lunchtime here in Mahone Bay, we came to Oh My Cod, just as we promised. And check this out. I got the lobster and shrimp mac and cheese, extra cheesy. Check out that thing of beauty.
They weren't joking about the lobster. Show that.
Look at that big chunk of lobster.
Bring it closer for us so we can see.
Look at that. Shall we try it?
Yes.
Lobster in the house.
Here's the question. We've been having some great mac and cheese lately. I don't think I could ever go back to like that instant craft dinner stuff after having this.
That would be so hard. This one is like extra creamy.
Yeah.
And it tastes like an aged cheese. And then we have Parmesan on top.
Yes, we do.
And now, okay, let's try it. One bite with shrimp.
Okay. And look, you've even got some toast. Yum.
A buttered piece of bread. This is just so tasty.
Yeah.
Really happy with it.
I can't wait to try mine. I've got a nice looking dish too.
And what did you get over there?
Guys, check out this mountain of clams and chips.
Yeah.
They're not just any kind of clams. They're the famous Digby clams, which is one of the best places you can get, well, any kind of seafood, really. Scallops, clams, I think, from the whole province. Very famous from Digby, out on the Bay of Fundy. And yeah, we've got just a mountain, clams on top, chips on the bottom, and we've got nice tartar sauce over here. This is the way to have clams.
Yeah, I really love them fried, and they're nice and salty.
Yes. Oh, so salty.
Yeah.
And go so well with the tartar sauce, like classic maritime Atlantic food here. And I'm just loving it. Great lunch. Oh, belly's full.
Belly's very full and very happy. We just had the best lunch ever.
Yes.
Let me tell you, that is life-changing mac and cheese.
Yeah, I mean, to have lobster and shrimp and for it to be that creamy and that cheesy.
It was so good.
It's amazing. Like, that is mac and cheese to die for. And also the clams and chips were good too.
That was good. But going back, one more thing about the mac and cheese. Yeah. That is the top 2 mac and cheese I've had on our travels. Yeah. It is right up there with the truffle and bone marrow mac and cheese we had in Scotland.
That's high praise.
Like, those two are right up there.
We also got to chat with the owner, a super friendly guy. And this is just a beautiful small town. Great experience. And we also have a recommendation for a good place for dinner.
Yes, we are going to Mateus Bistro, but we've still got a few hours before we start thinking about food again. So we're actually going to drive over to Oak Island over the causeway and check that out, because there's a lot of stories surrounding mystery treasure over there. So we'll tell you more about it when we get there.
Indeed. Gig, where are you?
Oh, I thought we were singing like this, the two of us.
No, this is on camera. Whirly gig, where are you? Okay, the funny thing is we're looking for a business called the Whirly Gig. Yes. And then after we turn on a road, I think it's Crandall.
Crandall to go to Oak Island.
Oh, there it is, the Whirly Gig. Oh, that's the Whirly Gig. Should be right here. To give you a bit of context, Oak Island is a 57-hectare privately owned island on Nova Scotia's South Shore. The island rose to mainstream fame when the History Channel started airing a reality TV show called The Curse of Oak Island, which follows a group of modern-day treasure hunters. There are all sorts of theories about what kind of treasure could be hidden here, ranging from pirate treasure to the Holy Grail, and Marie Antoinette's jewels to money smuggled out of Fort Louisbourg. Some of these theories are a little more out there than others, but all we can really say is that the show has a big cult following. Now for the bad news, our visit to Oak Island didn't go as planned. Well, that was a fun little misadventure.
So we got to Oak Island. We know it's a privately owned island, but supposedly it's open to the public, just like at the tip of it, where they have an interpretive center and you can learn more information about the history of the island. But right now they've got this big red sign that says Oak Island is closed to visitors, no trespassing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the end of it. But what we can see from here, it's beautiful, and we got some great views of the water. So we took a few clips of that. But that's the end of our Oak Island venture today. We're just gonna head back into town.
Yeah. Supposedly there's also boat tours that you can do, but they don't go out every day of the week.
No.
And you can also do guided walking tours, but they only release those tickets a few times a year, and they sell out immediately because people are really into this treasure.
Right. So anyways, we're just going to head back into town, and it was a fun little misadventure. This is part of the travel experience.
Yeah, we'll just spend the rest of the day in Mahone Bay.
That's right.
After our failed attempt at visiting the island, we started driving back to Mahone Bay and came across the Rum Runners Trail. The Rum Runners Trail is a 119-kilometer trail that runs along a former rail bed, and it connects Halifax with Lunenburg while passing through Hubbards, Chester, and Mahone Bay. The trail gets its name from Nova Scotia's Prohibition, which was enacted from 1921 to 1930. During this time, bootleggers, also known as rum runners, were the booze suppliers for the illegal market, and the coastline's proximity to the railroad made it an ideal route for rum running. So So we are now going on a little afternoon hike. We're walking part of the Rum Runners Trail. You can also bike this trail. And yeah, it's just a really nice trail, wooded, shaded. If we had a bit more time, I would totally bike this to Halifax.
This particular stretch is just beautifully maintained. The trail is just, you can tell that it's been flattened. There's no big rocks or anything. I mean, this looks like a manicured garden almost more than a forest.
I know. We also enjoyed a drive through Oakland, which sits directly across from Mahone Bay. Here we found a nice little beach to walk along.
So we were really looking forward to visiting the Mahone Bay Museum. However, we didn't realize it's open by appointment only. If you want to arrange a visit, you can message them on their Facebook page or send them an email through their website. But remember, you must do so at least 24 hours in advance so one of the volunteers can be on site. The museum has excellent reviews, and most of the comments mentioned how informative and friendly the guides are. So if you want to have a good chat about Mahone Bay's shipbuilding past, this is a good place to go. Next up, we made our way to Saltbox Brewing Company to sample some of their local craft beers.
It is beer o'clock.
It is. The sun is out in full force at this point. It was a little chilly earlier on. I'm actually only wearing this flannel because it's protecting my arms from the direct sunlight.
Poor redhead.
But anyways, we've got a nice selection of beers and cider. 4 beers, 1 cider.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna try them all for you.
And where are we?
Oh, of course, we're at Saltbox Brewing, one of the most famous attractions here in town.
Yes.
And a beautiful spot to be hanging out on a late summer day.
Yeah, for those of you who like to drink beer, come on down.
Yeah, this is the place. All right, guys. First off is a very unique beer. It is a lobster ale, Crustacean Elation. That sounds like something I would call a beer. I love things that rhyme, tongue twisters, and it's coming in at 5.5%. So let's give that a shot. Ooh, that's a nice refreshing beer. Good for the summer. I can't say I taste too much lobster in there.
That's probably a good thing.
It's probably a good thing.
The next one is actually mine if you want to have a sip of it.
Oh, is that your cider?
Yes, that's
apple cider?
Sterling apple cider.
Ooh, Sterling apple cider, and this is, Audrey loves her cider, so.
I do.
By having a sip, I'm depriving her of a little bit of it. I feel bad.
But not too bad.
That's an interesting cider. That's got a bit of a, I mean, I taste the apple, but it's got a little bit of a mint aftertaste. Definitely prefer the beer, but I think you'll like that one a lot. Okay, let's move on to this is a sour one. This is called the Sour Rhubarb, and it's supposed to be citrusy, tropical, and tart. So this sounds really good. This is one of their most popular summer beers. Very citrusy. Everything's been so unique so far. I've been surprised by the diversity and variety. So next up is the Make and Break, a double IPA. This is the strongest beer, coming in at 7.5%. Ooh. Okay, I like this one a lot. I love the grapefruity aftertaste to it. It doesn't taste as strong as you'd think at 7.5, You know, out of the 4, this is my favorite one so far. But that's probably gonna change because I do love my stouts. Last but not least, we have the Ragin' Cajun, and it is a stout aged in a bourbon barrel. That's so cool. Oh, that is good. It tastes like gingerbread to me. This one has some kind of a bit of bite to it, a little bit of spice to it. I love this brewery. There's so many great flavors here.
And one more thing to mention, you can do a flight of 3 or you can do a flight of 8.
Right, so we're doing 5. You got all kinds of variety and all kinds of, I mean, have 8 if you're thirsty enough, you know?
And then after all that beer and cider, we walked over to the barn. This is a really cool coffee shop in Mahone Bay, and our favorite part was their secret garden out back. So we've gone from the brewery over to the coffee shop. This is a place that was recommended to us today, the barn, for tea and coffee. I actually went for tea. I'm having a London Fog, some Earl Grey tea with milk.
I have a cappuccino. And I've got to say, it's a great location outside and also very artsy inside. A great place to enjoy your coffee and tasty bite inside too.
Cinnamon roll. The glaze looking very good. Take a big bite of that one.
How's that? Cinnamon buns are good.
That's got some really nice cinnamon swirls inside. That's how it is done.
I'm really interested to hear about the energy ball. It has some really cool ingredients for sure.
Peanut butter, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, cranberries, coconut, all over the exterior.
The everything ball. Does it taste more dessert-like or healthy?
I'd say relatively healthy, but very good.
Very good?
Yeah, you could feed it to a non-health enthusiast. Also, I don't think I've had a chance to show you guys the shirt I got yesterday. I'm really excited about this one. So it's a collaboration between East Coast Lifestyle, a brand from out here in the East Coast, and the Blue Nose shop, the Blue Nose 2 in Lunenburg.
I've been interested in the East Coast Lifestyle brand ever since I've kind of been traveling around New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. I've seen so many people wear it. This is a kind of a young brand, and they've done so well in less than 10 years. And so I've kind of always wanted to get a shirt. When we saw that it has the iconic Blue Nose 2, which is what you see on the Canadian dime, right? And then with the East Coast, it was like a 2-for-1 special. I got a hoodie, which you'll probably be seeing in future episodes. And Audrey's just trying not to spill everything.
And I just discovered chocolate chips.
Yeah.
So when we were asking locals what things we couldn't miss in Mahone Bay, several of them mentioned Amos Pewter. What is pewter, you ask? I wondered the same thing. To get all science-y on you, pewter is a malleable metal alloy composed of 85 to 99% tin. It was used for tableware and decorative metal items by the Egyptians and later the Romans, and it also came into extensive use in Europe during the Middle Ages. The cool thing about Amos Pewter is that they have an open studio where you can watch how they make their ornaments and jewelry. We ended up getting a cute Christmas ornament as a gift. We also enjoyed a walk along the Mahone Bay Civic Marina, because sometimes it's just nice to look at boats even if you never plan to own one.
And then it was time for another meal, this time dinner at the highly acclaimed Mateus Bistro.
Well guys, it feels like all we've been doing today is eating. Like we have gone from a restaurant to a brewery to a coffee shop to another restaurant. Meal number 4.
We're good eaters. We may not be good at anything else in life, but We can eat.
Hey.
I'm just kidding.
A few things. What? But we are good eaters. So we have come to Mateus Bistro for dinner tonight. It's a restaurant that people kept recommending. Very highly rated. The chef is from Bratislava. So we have ordered an appetizer to share. We are doing mussels in white wine. How does that sound to you?
That
Look
sounds
at that.
all kinds of amazing.
Come to me, mussel.
In a white wine sauce.
How do you do this?
Oh, just like that. How is it? You like it?
That's very tender. That's good.
Is it? Do you taste the white wine?
Yes.
Yes?
And that has onions, a little bit of coarse salt. That's delicious.
Is it?
I didn't know I liked mussels that much. But when they're like this,
Hey, we've been
the way to do it.
acclimatizing ourselves to seafood for, that's not the right word, but we've been eating a lot of seafood for a while, so no surprise you like mussels.
yes. Main dishes here. I got their award-winning chowder. This looks so good. I'm seeing lots of mussels, potatoes, carrots, different herbs and spices. Ooh.
How's that?
That is very nice.
It is award-winning chowder. I've never seen a chowder with so many ingredients.
I know. Let's try that. Got a bit of fish there. Mussels as well. Oh yeah. Their mussels are so good. We had them for the appetizer and I'm happy to be having them again for the main.
Pasta time, so I'm having chicken penne. So excited. Smoked chicken penne, not just any kind of penne. Check out that. Looks like it has a vinaigrette, bit of a creamy sauce as well. Whoa, delicious chicken penne here. Just love it. It pairs so nicely with the Shiraz wine. Sure. And we've got live music as well. Pretty cool. And that was our day trip to Mahone Bay. We took the scenic road back to Lunenburg along the Lighthouse Coastal Road, driving past Mater's Cove and detouring to Herman's Island where we spotted a deer. It was so peaceful and there was such a beautiful light. This part of Nova Scotia really won over our hearts on this trip. If you enjoyed this video, we invite you to hit subscribe and join us as we continue our road trip along Nova Scotia's South Shore. Next up, Lahave Islands. See you soon.